Alrighty. Many of the candles that you see burning on the Gary altar today were made by Lo. And Lo offered them to Sangha as a dana offering. It's just amazing. And part of this is in celebration of the theme for December, which is the exploration of light and dark. And today is the winter solstice. It is the shortest day of the year, the longest night. And so we are really enacting and embodying bringing more light, which of course can be appreciated only in partnership, in sisterhood with darkness. And so to begin our practice, I'd like to set an intention today and share with you all a sentiment of metta, loving kindness. This one is so bright, pretty. And this one reads, "May your life be a constant dawning of grace. May your life be a constant dawning of grace." Welcome, everyone. This is Recovery Dharma. My name is Julia. I'm one of the facilitators in the Spokane Sangha. It is such a joy for me to be here today, facilitating this practice, really inviting us to look at the dualistic nature of light and dark. One of the reasons why we do this as part of a Buddhist practice in general is because it helps us cultivate the quality, the limitless quality of equanimity. Equanimity in the Buddhist practice, another word for equanimity, a synonym, is inclusivity. Thich Nhat Hanh often referred to the practice of equanimity as freedom. And one of the reasons why it evokes a sense of freedom, a spirit of liberation, is because when we can look at our propensity and our habit energy to grasp for what gives us pleasure, to cling to the things that feel good, and to reject and avoid and resist anything that we define as being dark or unpleasant. Anytime we're in that tug of war, we suffer. We experience some kind of malcontentedness. And so the equanimity practice and the inclusivity practice is to find a harmony between these sacred pairs of opposites and see with a little bit of curiosity and agility and flexibility, we can blend them together into our lives, into the reality that is our life, which is a complicated makeup of both positive and negative, both light and dark, both brightness and shadow. But to do that, it's a practice. It's a real practice, and we have so much going on in our lives that encourages the practice, our moods that go up and down. 1 minute we're on the top of our game, the next minute we're in the bottom of the barrel. 1 minute we're feeling really solid about our sobriety, the next minute a craving appears out of nowhere and we feel very nervous and insecure. So for today's practice, I would like us to just spend some time in silence. And this is actually a bit of the opposite, because normally I do a whole bunch of talking. And today I'd like to bring forward its opposite, which is me being nice and quiet and allowing you to have space to listen to your own bright minds, your own inner wisdom. And I'd like you to use this time to simply allow yourself to notice. Notice the play of light and dark as it lives and breathes in you as you. Notice tension in the body and relaxation. Notice a mood that might have been at the beginning of the practice a little bit nervous, and toward its end has found some ease. Notice in your practice if your thoughts are racing or tight feeling. And through the gentle process of breathing, of simply being aware, if the space between thoughts increases. Notice any stories that you've been harboring this morning, and see if you can impart toward those stories a friendly curiosity. Would you look at that? Look at that story. I wonder what that's all about. No urgent need to find an answer, just curiosity, just noticing, just space. We're going to do this for about 7 minutes or so. I encourage you to close your eyes, or at least have a downward gaze. Put your body in a noble posture. If you're lying down, lie down so that your body is really flat. If you're sitting, sit tall, shoulders back, heart open. If stillness isn't available to you today and you need to be in movement, make sure your movement is such that your head is held high. You're taking time to pause for breath, for a quick look around. Breathe. Notice what you notice. Bring a friendly light to what you see. friends. It's a joy for me to bring forward and to honor the solstice, the winter solstice, as a metaphor for celebrating and honoring the play between light and dark within our own nature, within our own inner landscapes. Solstice comes from the word solstare, which means sun standing still. Our ancestors knew to gaze upon the sun and to observe that in various places around the globe, the sun hovered at the level of the horizon on this day and stood still. And slowly, slowly after this day, the sun was rising higher in the sky. And that levity, that rising, meant survival for people who were snowed in, blanketed by weather, dependent upon stores of food they were able to gather. People who were extraordinarily connected to nature as guides and as spiritual sources of inspiration. We have, as a culture, divorced ourselves from so many parts of nature external to us. And as a result, we are increasingly separate from the awareness of our own nature. From the fact that the shadows and the darkness that plagues the mind and heart is simply part of what makes us a whole human being. And that darkness is in everyone, to some degree or another. The solstice is a reminder that no matter the shadows that haunt you, there is always light. It may only be a spark, it may only be a flicker, but it is always there in you and in everyone else. And sometimes in the darkest of dark places where we cannot find the light within, we come into community and we are reignited and reinvigorated by the light of one another. This is my blessing to you on this beautiful solstice day. As we end our practice, let's just take 3 deep breaths together, breathing in the awareness of shadows, breathing out the presence of light. Breathing in deeply. Breathing out a sense of relief. One more time. Breathe in and breathe out. We're just going to end it with a dedication of merit. And I'd like to revisit our intention card as our dedication of merit. This one, again, it reads, "May your life be a constant dawning of grace." May your life be a constant dawning of grace. And I want to take a moment as we just take this practice in to reflect on the fact that just yesterday we practiced Roshi Joan Halifax's meditation of grace as a way of cultivating self-compassion. Grace is an acronym. Each letter is an invitation to ground, to pause. The R is to recall your intention and motivation. The A is to attune to the situation, the conditions, and yourself. C is to consider what will best serve in that moment. And E is to engage that service with a whole heart and then know when to exit, know when to end the interaction. May you take this practice of equanimity, of compassion, of joy, of loving kindness out into the world. May you bring it as light to the shortest day of the year. May your light be a warming one, an illuminating one that lights another little light in another, so that they are reminded to come home to their true self. Thank you so much for your beautiful practice, friends. We'll see you next time. Namaste.